let's just kind of do an overview of why we are doing this 2019 school bond. Obviously, it's a second high school and Midway Elementary, but maybe just an overview of the ultimate reason why. Superintendent, will you go first?
Well, we find ourselves with some schools that are at capacity and overflowing, very crowded conditions. One of those is Wasatch High School. As we have looked at what has happened at Wasatch High School in the past 10 years, it's really a staggering growth pattern that's taken us from 1,300 students from the day it opened to now 2,350 and growing. We believe that something has to be done soon. It takes 3 to 4 years from bond time to actually open a high school.
Why is that?
Because of the process of finishing your design, putting it out to bid, and then the actual construction can take somewhere between 24 and 30 months to build a school of this size. So, I'll let Mr. Baird kind of follow up on that, but I believe our school board feels a very heavy responsibility to provide some educational, friendly, conducive space for learning for our students. And we feel like right now our current high school is overcrowded and we need to do something soon.
So yeah, so to my follow-up to that is we just, as a board, as we have looked at this over the last 2 years plus and discussed and studied and looked at what was best for students, we felt it was better to build another high school, to take that down to half as where they are now, to give more opportunities for our students and more opportunities in all aspects of Sterling Scholar, in arts and music, in athletics, student government. We know with study after study after study that kids that are involved in extracurricular activities do better in school. And we want to be able to provide that opportunity for the students of this valley, the opportunity to do these extracurricular activities. And not only that, but just for our teachers and our administrators to know our students on a more personal level. When you get up into the 3,000 range or higher, that personalization really gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And I believe and feel that students don't feel connected to the school when we have that many students. So that was the philosophy of the school board. As we discussed and as we looked and studied, we felt like this was the best opportunity. Now, when we talk about the growth that he's talked about in our high school being overcrowded, there's lots of things that go with that. Parking opportunities for our students, getting in and out of to and from classrooms because hallways and common areas are overflowing. Our auditorium and our high school gym, I don't know that we have a place anymore to fit our whole student body to hear from the principal. So those are also things that we looked at. And
Am I understand correctly that right now the parking lot is at capacity, and that even sophomores maybe can or cannot park there? Is that correct?
That's correct. We're definitely running out of parking. I think to clearly restate the issue at hand, it's twofold. There is a philosophy from our school board. These are 5 elected officials. They all happen to be Wasatch graduates. They're trusted men. They've been very successful in their careers, and they take their responsibilities very seriously. And as they've studied this situation, they do not want to become the largest high school in the state. They don't think that's what Wasatch County is about. They don't think that's best for our kids. The largest high school in the state right now is at 3,100 students. That's the only high school that's over 3,000. After that, it drops to 2,800 and then on down. It's been suggested that we utilize TIS even more. We crowd more students into there. That we build on some classrooms. We push another 1,000 to 1,200 students into the high school, and that a high school of 3,600 would be appropriate for Wasatch County. We adamantly disagree with that notion and think that it would be not conducive for our students and would definitely inhibit the experience and the learning environment that they would have at Wasatch High School. But I think that kind of comes down to what we're voting on this bond. To have two high schools of 1,500 to 1,800 versus this one mega high school that would most likely be the largest in the state of Utah.
So in your review of these things, you've looked at, hey, do we want to be a 3,600 populated school? We've looked at that option, is that correct?
Sure. That's been part of our discussion over the last, as I said, two and a half years. We've looked at a lot of different options. We've looked at, do we reboundary? Not with the second high school, obviously, but because Midway Elementary is on this bond also. Do we reboundary? Do we shift students? We obviously want to maintain neighborhood and area schools that people can really feel a part of. We've looked at the possibility of year-round school. I'm not aware of, in all my years of being on the school board, of any high school that's been year-round. I think it maybe has been tested or tried. I don't know. I know there's not one now. Really don't feel like that's a reasonable option for us.
Why?
But we certainly have looked at it.
Why would that not be reasonable?
Well, because you have different families in the valley that maybe have some students in elementary and in junior high and in high school. And if we go to year-round, then those tracks can't be on the same time frame. Families that want to schedule vacations maybe can't do that because I've got my student in high school here and a student in junior high or middle school here, and elementary here. Not only with that, with athletics, with programs that you're trying to do. I'm not even sure how it would work with college credits, but my understanding is, and the research that I've done, it's really not conducive.